Why I don't have any friends, or why paranoid people can't have any friends. I'll start with my mother, because everything starts with your mother. And whether you like it or not, that's just an inconvenient fact that if you have a mother that you have to face. Well, I mean, some people's mothers are more influential in their lives than others. But my mother was very suspicious of everybody. She really didn't think that people were good, I think. Something happened to her in her childhood that was devastating to her, and she never recovered from it. And so that was my role model. She was my role model. You know, I had to watch her lack of relationships my whole life. And so when I got to be you know, time for me to start experiencing relationships and stuff, it wasn't that bad when I was a child, but I did have this hardness inside of me that I got from her, where, you know, I couldn't connect easily with people. I couldn't express my emotions, and for that reason there was always a little bit of discomfort between me and my friends. It wasn't that bad as a kid, because like children are just, you know, you start playing and you forget, you know, you're not like dwelling on your problems or anything. So that was how it started for me, was that there was a little bit of beef between me and my friends, just as a given, and I couldn't figure out why. I didn't know why. All I knew was that I really hated it. And when I became a teenager, it got even worse, and I became very controlling of my friends and very bossy. And my friends turned on me. Most of my friends turned on me for that reason. And I still didn't know why. I still didn't understand why. But as I'm talking about it, I realized that I was suspicious of my friends. I really didn't trust them. I didn't trust my friends. I thought they were out to get me. I thought they wanted to insult me or harm me in some kind of way. And I just couldn't... I couldn't figure that out, and because if I had really examined it and looked at it, well, what am I suspicious of? Like, what am I worried about them doing? Then things would have been probably a lot better, probably much better between me and my friends if I could have just rationalized it a little. But I had a hard time rationalizing. All I knew was that they had it in for me, but I still wanted to be their friend, and I still wanted them to be my friend. So that was, you know, that was tough. And then when I started kicking it with boys, that was the end of having friends, really. And the only friends that I ever had after that were boys. And then that was all sexual. So you can just imagine how that was. I must have been pretty needy and confused about, you know, why I didn't have friends, and lonely and stuff like that. And I definitely feel like I'm telling too much about my person, but I know that, you know, this is the social media. You know, this is where we air our dirty laundry if we want to. I've heard a lot of dirty laundry aired on here, so that gives me confidence that I can do it too. But yeah, so when boys and drugs and alcohol came into the picture, then that was a wrap on friends. I never had friends after that. It was all just about drugs, alcohol, and sex. Period. That was it. And so life goes on, and time goes on, and then I had children, and still, you know, lacking relationships. And after I had children, I really... even the boys became cold towards me. You know, it was like I used to always have them and have their support at least, to like at least try to make me feel somewhat like I had friends, and like they're, you know, like I wasn't just a tragic figure. But then that kind of tapered off too, like like after I had my children. So what I'm realizing now is that the reason that I don't have any friends is because I have been unwell psychologically for 10 years, very unwell, meaning that I have been paranoid, and I have been very adamant about accusing people of things that they probably wasn't trying to do. I'm not saying that everything that I accuse people of didn't happen or that they weren't doing it, but it was basically coming from me and my victimhood consciousness. Because when you think you're a victim, people treat you that way, even your friends and your family. So I realize now that it wasn't safe for people to be around me prior to day before yesterday, really, because if anybody's around me, I'm going to eventually accuse them of trying to harm me in some way. And actually, I even said it on a video that I posted it, and I was thinking about taking those videos down because I'm at a different place now, but I'm just going to leave it up for reference. But I am past the point where I think that if people are around me long enough, then they start to abuse me. But that was my victim speaking, you know, and I realize that now, and it feels so good. It feels so positive and so good and so refreshing to finally have that monkey off my back. Like, it's not that people are trying to victimize me. It's just that my inner victim is requiring people to victimize me. And so my protective self is like, oh, you trying to victimize me? It's very suspicious, it's very defensive, and people just weren't safe around me because I'm going to hurt them. I'm going to accuse them of stuff. I'm going to make them feel bad, you know, just for being around me. Isn't that crazy? Like we hurt, like if when people are unwell, there's no end to what we will do to kind of like destroy ourselves, you know? So I just want to share that. I see that this has been a pattern in my life quite a lot, and so I just wanted to share it in case anyone else can relate to that. I'm learning how to trust myself more now. I'm learning how to trust, and that's really all that matters is that I trust myself. You know, I don't have to trust everybody else so much, because that just puts a lot of pressure on people, and it's really not necessary. I have to be able to trust myself that whatever occurs in my life, whatever I'm faced with in my life, that I will have the appropriate response to it. And in that way, that takes the pressure off of the people around me. They can just relax and we can have our experience, and I'll be responsible for my responses and for whatever happens. And, you know, so I'm not trying to control them in any way to get some kind of outcome. So thanks for watching this video. Bye.